That's right. It's the morning show right here on KVVB TV, channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV. Yes, I'm getting ready to go live here just in minutes to ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. It's hard to keep them all in a row, but we try here at the show. Yes, it's the morning show with me, yours truly, Aaron Michael Sanchez. We also got the other yours truly over there, Jesse Sanchez. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
Yeah, today's a big day, right? I mean, he's obviously wearing the Superman shirt, which is appropriate. Supermaned out. You know, speaking of superheroes, I just got to say something just really quick. I love Superman, and I just got to say, the little one bought me a little gift, and it was so cute. It had the little S symbol, and it read Super Dad, and I thought. I got all like teary-eyed. I couldn't even keep it back. I just thought, "What?" And I just had to share that. I don't know why, but there you go. It was that. It was. Have you ever had like one of those moments in life, Jesse, where you're just so touched and moved that you're just like you can't hold back. The tears just come, and you're trying to be like, "Oh no, it's just something in my eye." Have you ever had that?
Oh no, I've never had that moment yet. I'll
we
wait for
gotta
it.
we gotta work on it. I'm gonna we're gonna that's our challenge now to get that so that Jesse can't hold back the tears. Okay, either that or you got terrible air ducts in your. You know that's the thing in the eyes. There's a little gland there that sometimes gets blocked and people can't cry because it's like blocked. There's too much stuff in there. I learned that from our friend over at optometrist. Yeah, Hollywood Vision. Big shout out to her. Okay, moving on. Today's show, we got lots to talk about. Yes, there is much. And around the corner, I'm super excited about this. Applebee's very own Bill Nordby will be joining us, letting us know the latest items that you can check out over there. Also, around the corner, Kristen Chenelbeth. Yeah, can't wait for this. Kristen, which I don't know if you remember her show, Pushing Daisies. Many of you probably don't. You probably listen to all of her Broadway musical hits and everything else that she does, which pretty much turns to gold, which I think she has a new show coming out this month. So we'll talk about that. But more importantly, we're going to be talking about chronic pain and how she is joining the rest of the world in chronic pain and what we're doing about it. So we need to take a quick break. When we come back, we got this and more, including Google. We're going to talk about Google as well, some of the search trends of the year, much, much more right after these messages right here on KVVB TV, Channel 33. That's right. We're on our commercial break here, over here at the stations. We're streaming live to you guys on Facebook, Periscope TV, YouTube Live, and LinkedIn Live. We don't take breaks here, just so you know, in case you wondered what goes on around the corner. For those of you that sometimes tune in, and I hear it, you downloaded our app. Very good, KMET, 1490 AM. You hear it the way it's supposed to be, right? We have like really good news updates as well as much, much more. But so today we're gonna switch gears a little. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun, including some of these top stories like this one. Jesse, what do you think? Cheerios adds heart shapes to cereal for first time in 40 years. Isn't that cute? That's adorable. I think the little one's
Oh,
got it in my head.
I like that.
Everything's adorable for me now. Like, all right. When a little one puts a smile on your face, it's kind of hard to, be all grumpy, right? You know it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's hard to be like, hey, I'm a, gentle giant. You're like, oh man, gotta be fun because you get super dead. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be on cloud nine for the rest of the year. into 2020
Aw.
to the end of next year. Well, last year he got something really nice. It was a nice bracelet, and it had the word DAD. Now, for those who don't know, I'm not officially his real father, as everybody knows this. But and I thought, oh, he just he needs to learn how to read, and he didn't. He got this by mistake. He pointed out. He goes, I know. He goes, it says Dad. I'm like,
10 seconds.
yeah. He got one for me and his real father as well. So he was like, that's it. That's just adorable. I was like,
2 seconds.
all right. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube Live. Yes, we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us today. On today's show, we got lots to talk about, including around the corner, Google. Yes, Google's been breaking down the numbers over there and seeing what you guys have all been searching for and what you're searching for ahead. Yes, it's an annual year in search list revealing topics that fascinated the world. So we're going to be talking to Justin Burr, Google search trends expert, around the corner. Also, this is a pretty interesting story. Yes, chronic pain and living with it. What's it like? Well, for many that know that chronic pain is a terrible thing to have, some are living with it and doing some pretty miraculous things in life. Yes, in fact, we looked up a whole list of celebrities that actually live with chronic pain. You wouldn't even know it. They don't even talk about it. Well, one particular celebrity will be joining us today. Yes, you know her as the woman who sings a beautiful melody like none other. She's an Emmy and Tony Award winning actress, singer, and just does it all over there. All while having pain, by the way. Many of you probably don't even know this. Kristen Chenoweth. Yes, Kristen will be with us. There she is with the smile on her face. And who knew she has chronic pain? And yet she smiles through it all, makes it look like it's a breeze, sings melodies. I'm telling you, when you listen to her, in fact, she's got something coming up this month. It is the concert, which will air on PBS and BYU TV. It's the iconic Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra in their annual Christmas concert. So you might want to tune into that. But first, you're going to definitely want to tune in to our interview with Miss Kristen Chenoweth around the corner. And she'll be joined by Dr. Mandy Francis, who's obviously helping many with chronic pain, and so we're going to get some answers regarding that. Now, I've got a lot of questions for her, like Pushing Daisies, which was one of my favorite. Actually, that was my introduction, I think, to Kristen, which all of a sudden I got all into this show. I watched each one back to back. This was before streaming was around, so I pretty much binge watched every single week. And I just thought, where did it go? What happened to it? So I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to be allowed to ask that because we're going to talk about chronic pain. So I know a lot of you have questions. You've posted them in social media. I can't even get to those because we're probably not going to have enough time because we don't want to take away from this discussion about chronic pain. So don't get mad at me if you're like, what? He didn't ask my question. And I'm like, oh, if we had a full hour, I would have asked it in the segment of social media comments. But maybe we can ask for her to come back onto the show. Maybe we could do that in a future episode. Okay. Also, it's Applebee's very own Bill Norby. He will be joining us. But first, let's say a big hello to our very own man in the clouds over there, also known as San Bernardino, Mr. Jesse Sanchez. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So, Jesse, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Cheerios, to Cheerio or not to Cheerio? That is the question. Do you Cheerios often, or what's your favorite cereal brand?
I like Cheerios. My favorite brand to just munch on, I like Crispix.
Crispix. That's a little describe Crispix for those of us that forgot what Crispix is like. I'm trying to think.
It's a little like hexagon or some weird shape like that. And
Okay.
there's no real sugar in there. It's just like rice and corn on one side.
Well, speaking
It's
of shapes, this is a brand new shape for our beloved Cheerios. Yes, they're creating new shapes with their heart healthy cereal for the first time. General Mills has transformed the iconic O's inside Cheerios into heart shapes to celebrate the brand's new heart health campaign. The limited edition, it's not going to last, so enjoy it while it does. Honey Nut Cheerios cereal has already hit select store shelves. The yellow box Cheerios will be available nationwide in January ahead of National Heart Health Month in February. The new shape will serve as a reminder that living a happy, heart healthy lifestyle can be fun, easy, and delicious. Of course, Cheerios have no artificial flavors or colors and are made with 12 vitamins and minerals. The high fiber food will be available in two different box sizes for $3.99 and $4.99 respectively. Now, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, they said, and I quote, eating a diet low in saturated fat and cholesterol and high in fruits, vegetables, and grain products that contain fiber may lower blood cholesterol levels and reduce your risk of heart attack. There you go. Or just heart, they kind of end there. But look, here's the thing. I love it because if for any of those of you that have a gluten intolerance, like a serious gluten intolerance, or you just want to remove gluten altogether, Cheerios has no gluten in it. So there you go. So good to know, and much, much more. But Honey Nut Cheerios, I've always been a fan of that, although I always end up adding a little bit of sugar. So I don't know if I'm contradicting that because I like the honey to like stand out, but sometimes it doesn't stand out enough. So I add some. I used to add equal, which we all have heard that that's not a good thing anymore, right? Because but I used to do a lot equal by the pound. I was like, do you use any additives to your cereal, Jesse? Like bananas or strawberries or anything like that?
If I have those fruits available, yes, I will chuck those in my bowl. But most of the time, I don't really add anything to it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Now, here's a question I have for you, Jesse. Of all the things out there, there are some pretty crazy things that we see, right? And sometimes we feel at least, should we report on this? And so this is one that I feel we need to report on because people are going to be visiting Las Vegas and they're going to be wondering why they see pigeons with, wait for it, cowboy hats. Yeah, that's a thing. Cowboy hats. Pigeons are being seen roaming around Las Vegas with actual cowboy hats. Yeah. Not the team cowboy, right? Because that'd be kind of cool. Actual cowboy hats. And everyone's talking about it. At least one local charity is actually trying to save them. A video of two pigeons in the tiny hats first surfaced last Thursday when a Las Vegas resident named Bobby Lee saw them on the street and was able to film them walking around. The video quickly went viral not long after other people began spotting the cowboy pigeons around town and capturing them on video as well. Now, while the birds dubbed Chuck Norris and Calamity Jane, get it, the reference? I don't, but I'll have to look it up. Thanks to Google, have sparked a lot of laughter. There have also sparked a lot of questions and concerns for the birds' well-being. So a local bird rescue charity, I could just see it now. Who's putting them hats on our pigeons? Right? They need boots to boot. Nah, I'll be here all week, folks. Yes, Lofty Hopes. They've been chronicling efforts to track and trap the birds so they can remove the hats. Lofty Hopes located Chuck Norris. This was a real update. I'm not joking. They said, we're attempting to trap him to remove the hat from his head. It's obviously glued because it has stayed on for several days now, and there are loose feathers caught in the glue between the hat and his head. Oh, okay. Well, then, you know what? We need to rescue this pigeon. You can see in the video that the hat is bothering him, and he wants it off. Well, you know what? I can guarantee that pigeon probably pooped a little too much on somebody. Have you ever been pooped on by a pigeon? By chance, Jesse? It's no laughing matter. It really isn't.
No, it's not. It's horrible, especially if you're walking in the street and one just air bombs you,
Yeah,
and you're
it's just
nowhere near it to clean it off.
yeah. You just look. That's just something you don't want to do. And then there's this. By the way, we all visit Target from time to time, right? Let's face it. We visit Target, and sometimes, I get it. You bring the kids along, and they get a little bored, right? So they get a little bored. They get a little finicky, and they're thinking to themselves, how can I make this less boring for me? Well, there was a video that was published by ABC News. And I kid you not, this is a kid or a video of a young one who got her fingers stuck. You know, in the like the little like openings that they have right on the shopping cart. She got it stuck. Now, according to this story, Massachusetts firefighters rescued the girl who got her hand stuck, and so she's good. But what have we learned by this? A, maybe not stick your fingers where they don't belong, and more importantly, wait for it. Be careful out there because it's getting a little difficult with the shopping carts now. Because have you noticed they've like improved the shopping carts from the way they used to be? They used to be just the regular, like I don't know about you, but I used to hide underneath. Like they had enough space where I could actually sit on the bottom rack. You know that rack where you put like the heavy items? I used to sit on that bottom and like my mom would push around the cart and I would sit there. I think they banned kids after that because I haven't seen a kid under the shopping cart. They're always on the top. And I always wonder, what if they get stuck? What if they've outgrown that little section with their legs that the legs go in? What if they outgrow it and all of a sudden they get stuck? Like this poor little girl who got her, and she's not little, she's like a teenager, I think. she got her fingers stuck in there. So lesson be learned, everybody out there. Maybe if there's a hole and you want to stick your finger through, just remember sometimes you might push it through, but it won't come back. So be careful out there. I think that's something everybody should know, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I right? Yeah, according to teenager Olive Harrell's shopping trip in Canton, Massachusetts, it was a terrible 15 minutes just trying to get unstuck. So there you go. Now, I wonder, though, if the store comped her or anything, or they just laughed at her and just said, please don't do that. And they put like a photo or a video. Because I think this is a lesson to all parents everywhere, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I right? All right, Jesse, have you ever done anything like that? Put your fingers or put something like in your nose or some other orifice that like you're like, it's just not going to come out? I hope you don't have any stories to share like that.
I no, I don't think I did it. I may or may not have a younger brother who stuck dimes up their nose.
Wait,
Ching
hold
ching
up.
ching.
It was like raining dimes. I don't even dimes are pretty big, so like I okay. Well, I mean they're decently big. I guess I never really I never thought of that. And so how long? I'm assume it came out with like the firefighters didn't need to come out to take it out, right? Or the doctors.
I don't remember. I remember it getting stuck. I don't know if we took him to the doctors to get it out. It was just funny.
Yeah, you're like of things to not do. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Your brother's got some interesting stories. I think we need to have him here on the show. All right, and then there's this. There's this. I was going to wait for this, but I think I need to bring this up. Speaking of cereal, since we're in the same segment, it would be kind of redundant to bring it up a little bit later. Hershey's Kisses. Yes, this is a new cereal. I don't know why I'm excited about this. You can now buy Hershey's Kisses in Kisses, not Kissies, although we call them that, evidently. There it is. It's cereal. The chocolatey cereal pieces are shaped like the iconic candy, and they're available in select retailers, but they'll be more widely available in January 2020. Jesse, will you try those out?
Most definitely. It looks
All
good.
right. I know a lucky lady that would be pretty happy about that called Brenda Higuera. I think she'd be happy about that. They have family size now. I think this is a little too much chocolate. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this is way too much chocolate. We recently had like these, I think it was, what was it? It was a special brand. Oh, I think it was Lucky Charms chocolate version, and it was just way too much chocolate. It was more chocolate than I could have. It was just way too sweet. All right, well, we've got more food to talk about, and we'll be switching gears over there with Applebee's very own Bill Norby just around the corner. So let's take a break here. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned right there, and if you're at a mobile device, just go ahead and download our app. It's free. It's KMET, $14.90 a.m. We promise we won't charge you, although your local internet company can't say anything about them. They might. All right, we'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. Hey, Jesse, I'm going to try to move along our our interviews kind of quick and fast because I realize that since we only have one phone line working, it probably doesn't roll over. Does it? Have we tested whether it goes just to a busy signal or?
As far as I know, it goes to a busy signal.
Got it.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
have to end them a bit short.
Got it. Okay. So. So I'm going to try to end because I definitely don't want to miss our other guests because if we do, then I'll know it's because of our. And you know what? Seriously, are you? Are the rest of you getting like sick and tired of getting phone calls? Granted, most people don't have their phone on their like while they're doing a newscast. But I do because I check out our Periscope, right? But is it just me or are you getting more spam risk calls, Jesse?
Okay, I thought that was just me. No, I've been getting like three like robocalls a day. Even here at the station, I
Yeah,
get those.
yeah, I believe it. I like literally in just the last how long have we been on? 20 minutes. I think I've gotten 3. It's like I'm like nope, nope. And it says this is what I like about at least AT&T. I know AT&T does this. What provider do you have, Jesse?
Uh, Dang, I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's T-Mobile.
All right, okay, I got it. So
I
we have AT&T, and they have this thing that says I thought I put this in. I thought I was super smart, but it says spam risk. And then I went over to Brendan's, and her says the same thing. So evidently, these telemarketers are calling. They don't even know why they're just going to voicemails because they're already identified as a spam caller, right? So you might want to be careful if you have that email or that because sometimes emails get trapped in that situation as well. You go to spam and you're like, why did it identify me as spam? Well, phone callers are having the same thing. It's
5 seconds.
called telemarketers. So there you go. Is Bill ready to go?
He's ready to go. 2
Got it.
seconds.
Okay. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, and various platforms. It's that time for Mr. Bill Norby over there at Applebee's. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Bill.
Good morning, Aaron, and all the KMET listeners. Got some great news from the Rams. They beat the Seattle Seahawks pretty handily last Sunday, so that means we get to double up on our KMET discount. Every day is 10% off, but when the Rams win, we double it to 20%. So come on down and enjoy that.
Well, speaking of the Rams winning, I understand every week you have a special item which we call the Pick'em winner. So, of this week, who won the Pick'em winning contest?
Yeah, so we only had one of our players win 13 of the 15 games, so there's no need for the tiebreaker. And that gentleman's name is Mike Estrada. So, Mike, come on down and get you $25 gift certificate.
All right, so there you go. Good job, Mike. And Bill, I got a question for you. I understand that you have a special delicacy over there. It's often referred to as a beautiful and amazing chocolate dish. Can you just, for those, I know we talk about it almost each and every week, but there's this new Hershey's Kisses cereal that I know now you have to contend with, and I think your dessert can top it off. I'm just saying. I mean, would you, first of all, eat Hershey Kisses cereal, Bill?
I would not, but I would eat one of our triple chocolate meltdowns, which you were referring to. It is a delicious dessert and big enough to share. Warm, rich fudge-filled chocolate cake drizzled with hot fudge, served with vanilla ice cream. Only 1,000 calories, so come on down and get one of those.
All right. And of course, look, for those that are health conscious, we got plenty of. You see how I'm identifying with like I work with Applebee's. Bill, I think you need to hire me. But we have plenty of additional. Okay, really, you have so many other special healthy choices for those wondering. Maybe they're trying to get fit during this time of year, because they want to save it for the parties, or maybe just maybe they want a special party dish that they can they don't have to cook and they can just come over and pick it up and take it to the party for everybody during this time of the year. Is there any suggestions that you have for us?
Absolutely. So in our menu, if you see the letters in green, that means that they are lighter and better for you, lighter in calories. And so one of those examples would be a shrimp wonton stir fry. That's a stir fried shrimp and veggies are tossed in a sweet and spicy sauce. It's a full meal and it only has 640 calories. And so as you're looking through the menu, anytime you see green writing with a little symbol off to the left, that means it's lower in calories and better for you. So we have something for the ones that are trying to be conscious. Yes.
Well, and speaking of the Rams again, what's if you had a fortune cookie, what would your fortune cookie say about the Rams and how they're playing or going to play?
Well, they're getting better. They had a little rough stretch in the middle of the season, and they are one game behind the Minnesota Vikings for that last playoff spot with 3 games to go. So they're going to need to win them, and they're going to need to get a little bit of help. But I think that Minnesota. I think that I heard that if everything goes down, that Rams would have the tiebreaker. So if they can win 3 and Minnesota loses one of the 3, they can get into that last spot. They are still the defending NFC champions. They were in the Super Bowl last year, and so until somebody knocks them off, they are the NFC champions. And we're going to keep winning until we can.
All right, Bill. For those wondering where they find your particular Applebee's at, where do they go?
Yeah, we're down here at 1585 East 6th Street. That's where Beaumont and Banning come together at the Highland Springs exit of the 10 freeway.
All right, there you go. So if you want to find it, just make sure, like them also on Facebook, Applebee's Grill and Bar. Also, Bill Norby over there, kicking it up with all the patrons there, making sure they've got a smile on their face. I know whenever we go, he always makes sure we're good, and I ask him to sit with us. He's like, I'm not allowed. So he pretends to put on that manager hat. He doesn't pretend like we know each other. We're, talk every week, but that's okay. That's okay, Bill. I get it. You're professional. You're working, right?
Well, absolutely. But I stop and have a few words with anybody that wants to talk a little bit and make sure everybody's enjoying themselves. And that is what I like to do, is go through the dining room, make sure everybody's enjoying themselves.
Yeah, Bill doesn't like to pick favorites, I could tell. He's like, look, you are our customer. I'm going to keep it professional. Very, very smart. All right, Bill, thank you for spending time with us each and every week. We'll see you next week right here on The Morning Show.
Absolutely. See you down at Applebee's.
See you down at Applebee's. All right, so Bill Norby, everybody, over there at Applebee's. Just find him right off the 10 freeway. Yes, and Beaumont and Banning. Okay, we need to take another break. Hopefully, around the corner, we got a special guest joining us. We'll talk about it. It's all about chronic pain and more right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, so Jesse, you should be getting a call. I just got an update from the producer over on the other side, so if you haven't gotten one already. Okay. Yeah, I just texted them, so updating them on our latest telephone line debacle, which just goes to show you need to make sure to be careful of those power outages that we've been having. We've been having a lot of them, especially in the Inland Empire, even up here in the high desert. So, make sure you have a good battery surge protector over there, because sometimes these battery surges or even just power like down lines will send a quick surge when they come back and then fry like a piece of equipment, which is never fun. Especially for us here at the station, which depend on these phone lines. All right, so there you go. Let's see. Moving on from that, let's go to our Facebook. I had you guys up here, and then it disappeared thanks to my amazing technology called the laptop. You ever have a computer where it's like it's really good until all of a sudden it's not? You know what I mean? Because that happens.
Yes.
Because you got so much content on there, right? You're like, you just can't delete anything, so you got to like migrate it all off onto like a special hard drive somewhere else. Hopefully, back it up. And oh wow, there you guys are. Whoa, big social media chat. Wow, you guys are kicking it up over there. 8:39. Okay, we'll
20 seconds.
Probably 8:38 to be honest, because we got to clear the line for Google.
10
all
seconds.
Right, so let me know when we're good to go.
2 seconds. Go Cowboys.
That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, KVVB TV 33, and various platforms. It's that time. It's my honor to present to you somebody that's not only an Emmy Award-winning actress, but also a Tony Award-winning actress. She just wins awards wherever she goes. I'm talking about none other than Kristen Chenoweth, who's joined by Dr. Mandy Francis. Good morning. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, so Kristen, I got to start with you because obviously I had no idea, and I think the majority of America had no idea that A, you suffered a very bad fall, and B, you now live with what's known as chronic pain. Can you talk about that?
Yes, I'm so happy to finally talk about it because actually I didn't fall. Something fell on me and fell on my head. I was on a TV set and it threw me back into a curb. So I had head and neck injury and rib and some other things. But I didn't talk about it, Aaron, because I didn't want the business to look at me as weak. I didn't want to not be looked at as I couldn't do my job or be hired anymore because I love being an artist.
Right.
But the truth is, this whole campaign has given me the platform and opportunity to finally say, so since 2012, everybody, I live with this, and I've got my treatment, and sometimes my treatment changes because I learn new things, which is another reason why I'm so glad to be involved. And I really encourage your listeners to go to our website, which is thisispain.com, to share stories and hear other people who suffer with this. And it's frustrating because pain is sometimes you can't see it. If I had, a neck brace on or an arm cast, you would say, oh my gosh, what happened? Are you okay? And it's not that I want, sympathy all the time. It's just sometimes you can't see it. And then people wonder why maybe, what's wrong with her? Maybe she's not at her best. And, sometimes just sharing it really is healing.
Well, okay, so I gotta say this because my mom's in that same boat, and recently myself too, because my knee's been really messed up. But not to the point of your chronic pain, but my mom has had like a what is it? It's at the bottom that they insert into the back of the the neck of the spine to eliminate the pain or at least greatly reduce it. But everybody thinks she's fine and she's not. And she's, there, she's trying to concentrate. And sometimes the pain's so overwhelming, she can't even think. Do you find that to be the same case for you sometimes? And you still try to bear through it?
Yeah, I still do. And I so empathize with your mother because, it sounds like to me like she works and she has, we want to live our best life. And pain gets in the way, and it's not just very painful, pardon the pun, but it's also a nuisance. And we don't want to be complainers, right? We don't want to talk about it, but the truth is, even for your mom, tell her that she's not alone. I have a lot of people I trust and love, like my own mother, and who's been through cancer, and I can say, Mom, why me? It's very easy to say, why me? But the truth is, if you get the right treatment and you trust your doctor, you can start changing the why me into I'm going to help myself feel better. But yes, it can be debilitating and frustrating, and there are going to be some days that guess what, that are just not going to be as doable as others. And that is the reality and the truth of chronic pain, which is a disease. And I didn't know until I was talking and working with the doctor on this, Dr. Mandy, that it's a disease. I wasn't completely unaware. I just thought, oh, it's just what I have to deal with since I had that accident.
Yeah, and speaking of the doctor, Dr. Mandy Francis, we have you with us. I understand you are a professional in this field. What's your recommendation for those living with this? A, to identify it, and B, to say, okay, now that I realize this is a real thing, what can I do about it?
So, first of all, anybody who has pain that's lasted more than 6 months is a chronic pain patient. And that's right there, you recognize that. You can have numb, tingling, burning, sharp, shooting ants, crawling, whatever it might be, your neck or back, intermittently, chronic all day. That tells you have chronic pain. Once you've identified it, we want you to go and get treatment. Part of what This Is Pain campaign outreach is for those patients to be able to have a platform to see that, hey, talk about your pain, get some help. And it's also for family, friends, coworkers, and even providers like myself to say and recognize and understand that this is a disease and we need to do something about that. So I would say to patients, go to the thisispain.com, hear other patient stories of pain. If you'd love to, we'd like for you to share your story. Find a provider. Each patient's pain is unique, so your treatment plan is going to be unique. But find somebody who gets it. Find somebody who understands the treatment of pain. There's so many options out there for you. Just advocate for yourself. I can't say that enough. Patients, advocate for yourself.
Now, Kristen, back to you. I could imagine your relief when you found out, oh man, I'm not alone. People suffer in silence. They don't ever speak about it. They, again, like you said, don't want to complain about it, don't want to be perceived as, a bother to others around them. So what's your life been like since you've identified this? And more importantly, now you're coming out about it and you're sharing your own story.
It's been such a relief to feel free to talk about it finally. One of the things I've learned about this whole journey with chronic pain is that I've come to really rely on telling the people that I work with every day, look, I have this, and don't be scared or frightened, but if I seem off or not at my best, now you know why. That's been very freeing. Also, I do a lot of traction. If you stay consistent, which I have been pretty consistent, and I live on a plane, so that's my plane trips are really also at the triggers for me. But
Right.
if you stay consistent, if you're in a hotel room, if you're in your own room, no matter what you're doing, stay consistent because that will really help you. Heck, Santa Claus might even bring you a new knee if you stay consistent. You never know, Aaron.
Well, I know we've run out of time with the both of you, but thank you very much, Kristen, and congratulations. I understand we can actually see you in another musical coming up this month on BYU TV and PBS, so I look forward to that. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you, darling. Have a good day.
You too. All right. We need to take a break here on the morning show. Kristen Chenoweth, who knew she was suffering from pain? She smiles in each and every picture. You wouldn't know this. And I think it's a testament to those that live with chronic pain and still are able to just kind of put a smile on, pretend like it's okay. And every now and then just be understanding that maybe, just maybe, they're not on their best, as she so adamantly actually shared with us, because I've seen it with my mom. Sometimes I could see her facial expression and it kind of changes, or she's having a hard time concentrating. I'm like, oh wow, you must be in a lot of pain. And she goes, yes, I just felt it, but I was trying not to say anything. So there you go. Kudos to her, and kudos to all of those of us that actually suffer for chronic pain and try to keep quiet about it, but need to get some additional help. So definitely go do that, and go visit the website thisispain.com. They've got other real stories from real people living with real chronic pain and what you can do about it. So let's spread the word and let people know sometimes, hey, I may have a smile on my face. Sure, I might be jovial, but inside, somewhere down in my body, it's killing me. Kind of like my knee, which I haven't mentioned once on this show. Wait, have I? Oh, I have? Okay, never mind. All right, we'll be right back with more right here of the morning show right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right. Casey in social media says Kristen Chenoweth is awesome. Oh, man. Again, I always try to keep my fandom down because I get this whole like inside and I'm like, keep it professional, keep it professional. And so there you go. Now I get to kind of let my hair loose, so to speak, right? But there you go. How cool was that? Kristen Chenoweth. Oh, man. Again, seriously, just a beautiful, amazing voice. I don't know how she does it in that teeny tiny little body. She's so petite, right? Isn't she? I know. So I don't know how tall she is, but she's so petite, and you're just like, wow. And you think, look, again, from experience, my mom, sometimes when we go to the movie theater, she's like, I got to get my back brace because if I don't get it, I'm going to be in a lot of pain sitting there, right? And I'm not going to lie, sometimes I think, oh, you can, muscle it or just not think about it. And sometimes now that I know my own pain, I'm like, oh, wow. It's true. You can try to divert the majority of your mind away from it, and take some painkillers if it even helps. But for those that actually live with chronic, severe pain, I know I don't suffer that much severe pain because mine's intermittent. It just like when I stretch it out, it just hurts. So yeah, I need to go see the doctor. I know I'm kind of putting it off because I'm afraid of what they're going to tell me, but. For the rest of you, go get the help. All right. So there you go. I just don't have time to take off. I'm just saying. What? I just sit here? Oh, is that what you're thinking? No, I don't just sit here. I do a lot more than that. All right, moving on. No, literally yesterday, so we went into big shout out to Pier. Is it Pier 1 Imports, Brenda? Pier 1. Yeah, Brenda loves that place. She posted it on her 35 Lifestyle. She put like this dinner arrangement like thing together. I don't know if we have a picture of that, but it's really festive, and she just loves the colors and like decorating and designing. So big shout out to Pier 1 who helped us out. But the lady there, she saw us one day and we had to go return some items because we returned items to the other two stores, Ross and Marshall's. And then we visited Pier 1 to update with some more stuff. And the lady's like, do you not work? Like, what? I've worked daily on the morning show and much, much more. But there it is, Pier 1 Imports. So how many of you shop at Pier 1? Or just go in there to browse? I used to be a browser. I never used to buy. And now I'm like, oh, okay. Because you know why? I didn't know how to put things together. Brenda does. All right. All right, let's switch gears. Let's focus, people. Focus. That's why I tell the little one when he gets a little distracted. Let's focus. Because I got to tell myself that. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, and Periscope TV. Yes, if you're just joining us, you missed a really good interview with Kristen Chenoweth and talking about something really sad, which is a chronic pain. But you need not fret. In fact, you can just type it in on social media or anywhere. Just type in her name, type in the morning show, and most likely you'll find our rebroadcast of that information. But first, we need to switch gears up. Yes, because many of you, sure, you're on social media and you're typing in, speaking of keywords, you're like, okay, let me put this in as a keyword and this. Well, Justin Burr, Google Trends expert, has broken down for us what you are searching for in the year. And Justin, are you there with us?
I am, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining us. Look, I can imagine as you're going through all of the things there, some of these things probably pop out at you and go, you know what? I remember that news story or that article. Is there any one that popped out at you and you said, you know what? I agree with this search trend that happened this year?
I feel like I agree with all the trends. You know, the number one trending search was Disney Plus. I certainly was involved in Googling that and figuring out how I could get a subscription and what shows and what movies are going to be on there. And then the number one trending movie, Avengers Endgame, obviously saw that. It was awesome. The top trending song, Old Town Road, I've certainly heard that. And then the top trending TV show, Game of Thrones, obviously know all about that. So those are kind of the top categories. The number one news search was Hurricane Dorian. So, yeah, I feel like there wasn't a ton of surprises this year. It felt like all the top categories or all the top trending items on each category kind of made a lot of sense.
Well, it's funny you say that. So I was just at an event, which, by the way, I spoke very highly of Google. I was at an event with a bunch of publicists. And sharing with them that a lot of the news stories sometimes help the searches, and vice versa. Some of the news stories get picked up because they start trending on Google. And I showed them their special tool and the powerful tool that you have. And some of them had never heard of it. Others were like, oh, yeah, I use it all the time. What's that like over there? Being able to kind of, kind of reformat what I call the shape of the world by just finding out what people are searching and what they're most interested in. Because this isn't you guys putting this out there. This is people in all necks of around the world, like including our own local backyard, right?
Right, 100%. Yeah, I think that's what's so unique about the year in search is like it's such a great barometer over all of these different events and these different things that shape the entire year. But outside of just looking back on what's happened in the year, you can go to google.com/trends and see what's trending at any time. And there are certain times that I go and check that and I don't know about something, and then I start to Google it and get a little bit more into it, which facilitates it to be further trending. And so there's always things that are happening around the world that you're not necessarily privy to. And yeah, Google has those trends for you, and you can kind of make sure you're up to date throughout the year, and then also at the end of the year when the year in search stuff comes out.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these trends that were trending in the year of 2019. Anything that pops out there?
Yeah, so the top 5 news. So as I mentioned, Hurricane Dorian, number 1 there, and then the Notre Dame Cathedral, the Women's World Cup, the Area 51 raid, and the Copa Americana. Those were all the top 5 trends related to news. And, no surprise with Hurricane Dorian, the Notre Dame Cathedral, I feel like people come to Google to understand what is happening at a specific time during some sort of a natural disaster or some sort of a crisis, make sure that, they're up to date and they're staying safe if they're in an affected area. But then afterwards, people come to Google to figure out how they can help those individuals. And actually, we saw how to become a first responder and donations as the highest amount of search interest ever throughout 2019 in those two categories. So great to see people are coming there to figure out how they can do good things and help people that are being affected by some sort of a tragedy.
Now, I understand there's a category known as fashion. What are people searching in fashion? Are they looking up certain celebrities or certain styles? Like, I don't know, is like, beards back in? What are we talking about when we say fashion?
Yeah, they're a bit more obscure. So the camp style was actually the number 1 fashion style trend. And if you remember the Met Gala that happens every year in New York City, the theme this year was. And when I think of camp, I'm like, all right, I got my tent, got my backpack on, but I think it's a little bit more high fashion than that. Outside of that, it was e-girl style, e-boy style, and steampunk style. None of those things, I'm not necessarily the most fashionable individual myself, but yeah, those are way over my head.
I get it. And have we learned anything in the last decade? Because I understand you can also go all the way back to what was trending in 2010 versus what's now. Have we changed as a species? Have we kind of remained the same? What's going on? What have we learned from our search on trends?
Yeah, you can so if you go to google.com/2019, there's a little drop-down menu where you can search throughout all the different years that we pulled these year-end search trends for. But as we are ending the decade, it's fun to look back at what was happening in 2010. And the top trending song in 2010 was Pants on the Ground, which was that really funny American Idol audition where a guy sang an original song, but then also Love the Way You Lie and Like a G6. And then conversely, this year, Old Town Road, Seven Rings, and Shallow were all the top trending songs. One of the things that actually has remained pretty consistent is some of the individuals that were trending a decade ago. So Justin Bieber, Betty White, and LeBron James were some of the trending individuals in 2010. Obviously, they're still very relevant. Justin Bieber was actually trending this year for his wedding to Hailey Baldwin. And then if we look at some of the movies, Toy Story 3 was on the trending list in 2010, and now in 2019, Toy Story 4 is on the trending list. So a lot of the things have remained consistent, but people come to Google for a variety of things. And that type of search interaction has remained fairly similar, even though it's been a decade.
Well, and I love it because you guys get and anyway, this is public for everybody. You can see also what type of search words they're using in tandem with that overall trend, so you can find out what they really want to know, right? Like, what are they wearing, or what is this person broken up with this person? Because I search that a lot, right? I never want to get bad news, and I'm always like, what? They separated? I had no idea, so I go to Google for the answers. Hey, Justin, I know we've run out of time. You got other places to be. Thank you for spending time with us here on the morning show.
Yeah, hey, thanks so much for having me. Have a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin Burr, everybody. Yes, Google Trends expert over there. We always like having Justin here on the show. We've had him a couple of times. And if you're wondering, again, how to find this out, because seriously, I was in a room full of publicity. Big shout out to PRSA, which do a great job helping get information out to public relations professionals all around the world and internationally. Yes, so but a lot of them actually had never heard of this. So I was like, oh, I felt like the big man on the totem pole. Yes, we have them on every week talking about Google Trends. And so many think, well, how can I use this in my own like professionalism? What do I do, right? Maybe you've got a business, for example. Okay, here's a perfect example. You have a business and the business is selling candy, right? And you're thinking, okay, what kind of candies am I going to promote each and every month? Maybe each and every week. Well, you can go back a year in advance and evidently full 10 years and see what was a consistent pattern because oftentimes what you will see, not all the times, but more often than not, you can see a pattern in what's going to happen ahead of the game, right? So you start thinking, and many retail outlets already do this with seasons, with upcoming holidays, for example, and they plan well in advance. But maybe you're not a big retailer. Maybe you're just a small guy on the totem pole known as a small business professional, and you're thinking, hey, how can our team get ready for the thing ahead? And so, whatever your book of business is, oftentimes, if you can dictate what the future is based on what is a trended item in the past, you can usually do that. Now, that's difficult with news items, so to speak, because that's as they're breaking and things. But I would venture to say those that have like media outlets or publishing things, they can see what is more important, what people are searching for. Because if more people are searching for that particular item, let's say you have a website, you put that on your website, now you find that people are more likely to find your information because they're searching for it. And you'll get highly ranked on the Google keyword analytical thing with searches where these stories can be found. So there you go. Very important stuff. Google Trends. Yeah, you can see it even by the second, little ticks and it going up and see. It's very interesting to find out what people are searching for. I think it's kind of it's both kind of mysterious and magical in a way, right? But there you go. All right. Switching gears up, let's go to a story I've been trying to stay away with from the entire show because I didn't want Kristen and her people to cancel their interview with us because they might be like, I can't believe you would share this, but this is real news, Jesse. According to our friends over at the Mirror in United Kingdom, Jesse, have you ever thought perhaps, just maybe, I might have a special talent that should be researched and analyzed? Have you ever thought that to yourself?
Negative. I have nothing. I have no talents.
Well, I'm
That I know
starting
of.
to rethink that thought right now because this man, kid you not, he actually is a man all the way from another country, by the way, which he would have to be, right? Because this is like one of those things that you don't hear of here, just here. This man, his name is Joe, and I'm going to botch the name. I apologize in advance. He's probably going to be like award-winning, like they're going to give him a special award, right? What's that called? The Nobel Peace Prize? Yeah, they'll probably give him one for this, for helping every one of us stay away from mosquitoes. Now, this man, who actually has his picture published here, Joe Wamirama. That's my closest. It starts with an R, so it's kind of like Rwanda. You got to be careful with that. So Joe Wamirama, who's 48, he's from Kampala, Uganda. Well, he is stating as a fact that, wait for it, his flatulence, also known as, I don't know if I want to say this, his butt cracking, butt smelling, butt just farting, yeah, I said it there, can kill mosquitoes up to 6 meters away. And that he's been hired by a manufacturing company in help to develop a new repellent. What do you think about that, Jesse?
I I have no words.
What?
I have no words.
What? I'm saying this is like a new discovery, right? Like usually when new discoveries are found out, I don't know why this isn't bigger news than it should be, right? I mean, come on. Like how many of us have gotten an insect bite, we use repellent and we're thinking that just doesn't work. What if they come out with all of a sudden one day this special repellent that like on contact boom. They're done. They're dead for it. They don't even come around this because it smells that bad. But maybe think about it. Engineers are really smart. They can take out and like mask certain scents. Like, okay, let's take a little aloe vera, put that in, take out that little fart smell, put that out. And then like there's this little chemical. Now he claims, by the way, in the sake of science, because this is a very important news article here, that he eats normal, regular stuff. He doesn't eat anything different. But for some reason, mosquitoes, in fact, the whole town has chimed in on this article, by the way, because they've been interviewed because, it's a big thing. You're like, yes, our town has the man that can repel any mosquito up to 6 meters away. They said that they thank him. They thank him, and they know. In fact, according to the Sun, let's see. Here it is. He is known all over the city as the man who can kill mosquitoes with his, I'm going to say flatulence, but we all know the article says farts. So I'm not being potty humor here. I'm giving real news on a real station format, okay? So don't call me out. It says, when Joe is around, and we all know mosquitoes will vanish. That's all the science I needed to know about that article. So there you go. And I know some of you are thinking, I can get paid for this because mine could clear a whole room full, right? I know. You're thinking about that. Jesse, seriously, you got no words for me? Do you want to maybe donate your flatulence to science?
No, I'm good. But I did come up with a name for his product.
Hit me.
Silent but deadly.
Dun. We all know that one person, right?
Oh.
We all know that one person. You're like, you don't want to get stuck in the car with them. You're like, oh, no, oh. And especially when they call it out, they're like, oh, that was me. They almost take a pride. There's like a pride, like a significance, like, yeah, but you're still alive, aren't you? Not the mosquitoes. All right. Well, anyway, we got to switch gears off. I was so on the fence of what did I want to share that? Did I not want to share that? But there it is. It's out there. All right. So there you go. We appreciate each and every one of you for spending time here on the morning show. We'll be back. Hopefully I won't get the call from the station going, can't believe you did that. You're now fired. So if I'm here tomorrow, thank you for sending in good letters, a recommendation that you love the morning show, and myself, Aaron Michael Sanchez. Hopefully I'll be here tomorrow. If I am, find us at the same time each and every day. Download our app. It's free, KMT, 1490 AM. Bye-bye, folks. All right, so there we go. We appreciate you in social media land and on KVVB TV channel 33. You know what, Brendan? I was hoping you would bring up the picture of the guy because that would make it more real rather than people are gonna think I made that story up. I did not, and it's on the mirror. And I know some of you think that's the fake news, but he's got a picture there. So I don't know that they would just take a picture from any random person. But there you go. Let's see. In social media, Casey says dog farts are the worst, right? I know. Ooh, you're like, what did you eat, boy? There you go. Diana's laughing at at Jesse's silent but deadly comment there. Tass says Aaron always knows how to get our attention. Yeah, that's the only way I could do it, right? If you were falling asleep, you're awake now. So there you go. Look, I know some of you are going to go out there and you're going to think, you know what? I know somebody that can donate their flatulence to science. Yeah. All right. Anyway, moving on. We got lots to talk about today. I have so many stories, but for some reason I just couldn't stay from that one. I wanted to share that at the beginning, but I really didn't want like the producers for our guests to be like, you know what, we're going to cancel this. We had no idea it was this type of show. But hey, there it is. All right. We'll classy it up tomorrow. I promise you, it'll be a much classier version of the morning show. But we appreciate you. Thanks for making it a great day with us. Again, we see you guys on social media. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, provided they keep me. Bye, everyone. Have fun.